house.
Yo,
None of the girls were available tonight, and it's Wednesday.
yes, it is.
Well, listen, it's been a stressful week, Nico. Do
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, you've had stress, I've had stress, but we get onto my stress in a minute. What you been up to?
Another rewind, mate. Another one.
How do you do just like the same? What?
Well, I'm good at it. We don't normally, before all the YouTube stuff, like I'd be lucky to get two rewires in a year, really. You were always competition with another five sparks around the area. Obviously, YouTube's helped me massively picking up work and people want us to do it because obviously we've got portfolio online and all this sort of stuff. But then some random ones just came in that didn't know who we were or what we're doing. And we just, priced it right, turned up wearing a Batman hat, they're like that, the old people. And yeah, but the one I'm just started on is 2 roads away from me. And he did actually get me, he didn't get me from YouTube on purpose, but I'm 2 roads away. And the lad is 21, his name's John. He's just starting an electrician's course at college. And he's got this house, and I went around to price it. And then I think he just clicked, he realized who I was. It was like, I actually watch you on YouTube. He just didn't put two and two together, I don't think. And got the job and everything. And he's took a couple of days off work, and he's been doing it with us. So it's first time ever on the tools. Me and Al have been showing about SDS in, chasing boxes out, running cables, putting floorboards up. And he's absolutely loved it. And he's brilliant at it as well. Hard grafter. And I'm just treating him the way I treat Adam, even though he's my customer. It's a bit weird, but it's working well. But what we're giving him there is invaluable, really.
Do you know something funny? I had a plumber come round, no, a gas engineer come round when we bought this house. And he's really talky, like me. And we was getting on really well. And he goes, I watch all the YouTubers, all the electrical YouTubers. I was like, waiting for it. And he goes, yeah, my favourite one's Nick Bundy. I can't believe I haven't told you this story. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll do a podcast with him. And he goes, oh, do you? I was like, yeah, of course. and he's like, oh, what, do you know him well then? I was like, yeah, he's a mate of mine. And he's like, can you phone him? I was like, yeah. He goes, phone him now. I was like, no, I'm not phoning him. Say what? And he's like, oh, I'd love to meet him. And I was like, yeah, but you're meeting me. And he goes, yeah, I don't really know who you are. I was so annoyed. I was like, how's this a thing, man? How's someone come to my house all the way down in Margate and like talk to me about Nick Bundy?
That's funny, isn't it? If we were I went down to London last week to film some stuff with Plumber Parts, Jimmy, and pulled up at Jimmy's house, and his neighbours having some building work done. And he come out, and the old boy looked at me and was like, I just sort of waved and went inside. And then later on, Jimmy was around there just to give him a hand. And he went, he's an ex-Spark and he watches you on YouTube. I was like, what is the chance that his next door neighbour? But yeah, I think it's very strange. One of the guys I used to work with on the council buildings when I did commercial when I first started, he lives down Cornwall way now, I think. And he just messaged me. I hadn't spoke to him for like 10 years. And he messaged me randomly, I think last year, and went, just in the electrical wholesalers, and they were playing your video in the background, and there's about 4 guys talking about your video. He says, you're making waves, mate. He said, I'm all the way down in Cornwall now. People know who you are. I was like, this is so weird.
It's good though, man. It's good.
Nice.
Listen, so
what have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing this week?
Might as well get that out of the way.
Stressing out. Well, listen, it's Wednesday, but last week, what did I do last week? So, Monday, Tuesday, I was in Southampton doing a install down there. And then Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, I got to come home and work in Maidstone.
Is that close to home, is it?
Yeah, it's like an hour away. So,
that's close, is it?
To you, that's like on the other side of the world. But to me, that's close. So, and it was brilliant because it was my own job. So I didn't have to answer to no one.
MRI scanner.
I just got a list of stuff that needed doing, snag list. And then I had to get the floor layers in to finish the floors and stuff like that. It was lovely. It's basically a lot of me standing around telling people what to do.
That sounds like your perfect day.
Yes, it was. It was brilliant. So done that for 3 days in. Obviously aced it because it's me. And then Monday. So I had a brilliant weekend. What did I do the weekend?
Pumpkin carving.
Bruv, let's get onto this, right? Halloween. You just sparked off something in my head, man. Right, Halloween, right? So happy. Last week, right, I carved 2 pumpkins
And
early.
they were good. They were good.
Obviously. But I got so excited I had to do it a week early. So I'd done it, and at the front of my house I've got gates. And then I've got 2 big posts. Right, it sounds flashier than it is. It's really not. Anyway, and on the top of the post is where I put my pumpkins. I was like, that is so that when you just think, oh, yes,
Completed, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm looking at them and they're really good. I think they're really good. And about three days into that week, someone knocks them off, smashes them up. And I'm like, do you know what? I'll take that on the chin. Like, don't think you can come to my house and smash stuff up though. But I'll take it on the chin. It's a week early.
Yeah.
Right? All right. I get the message. I'm quite easygoing about things like that. Anyway, we have so I'll go Tesco's, buy some more. So before we went pumpkin picking, but this weekend obviously there's no pumpkins left to pick. So I went Tesco's, bought a couple of decent sized pumpkins. Done some new ones. I called one zipper mouth and one purge because it's like the ice and the purge and all that. And then the other one was zipper mouth because it looked like
what did you use to crisscrosses? Was it toothpicks or something?
Toothpicks broken.
Yeah, look good.
I know, right? Quite artistic, you see. And then, so it was brilliant. I stood hiding. So so the gates are here on my house, and then you come in. Here's my driveway, and then here's my front door here. So Amanda and Harper went to the front door. I crept round the side of the house in my mask and my in a black tracksuit, and would jump out on the people. And it was brilliant. About 5 times. After that, I was tired from it. We had about 20 trick-or-treaters, right? But the mask, it was a decent mask.
The red one?
Huh?
That red mask?
Yeah. It's decent. Anyway, so, but it's a full head mask. And it's sweaty. Honestly, I was dying. And it's sort of like the hype sort of run out in the end. And then, so I'm sitting there, and about 7:30, people quite respectful, it all finished up. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I'm sitting there and I'm laying there now watching. I've got into this new thing. What's it called? Suits on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Adam watches it, yeah.
It's all right. Relax. It's not that good. And I'm watching that. And then it's 9:15, 17 minutes past 9. My ring doorbell goes. And there's 2, quite older girls there, maybe 13, 14. Knocking on my door at 20 past 9. I'm like, nah, I'm not answering it.
No.
Just
but
answering
they not
it.
press the doorbell as well? For trick or treat.
No, we don't have the doorbell. We just have the ring doorbell.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not answering it. Anyway, this one walks off, and my new purge, my favourite one, right? She just walks past and slaps it off the top, and I'm like, did that just happen? Anyway, so I rewind it. I'm going out there now. Now I've got the ump. I'm going out there. And I'm going to be like, listen, don't do that. Anyway, I get out there. They jump in a car and drive off. I'm like...
In a car?
In a car. Because what parent in their right mind is letting...
Motorbikes.
Is letting their 13, 14-year-old go trick-or-treating at 9:15. That's mad.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's mad. And so, yeah, I was quite outraged by that incident. And
weird in that. Oh, go on, sorry, mate.
Go on.
I just say about trick or treating. My daughter now is of the age where she gets it. My parents never let me go trick or treating. They don't really think it's the done thing. But she always have sweets at the house. So when people come, we'd give them out. But I was never allowed to go trick or treating.
No.
Which is fair enough.
But it wasn't a thing when I was a kid. You can't, maybe I'd done it once when my mum and dad didn't know, but you didn't do it.
Yeah, I've just never been fussed about it. But when we've always had sweets, but we told her about it, and it was obviously at school. They get to get dressed up in the day, don't they?
Yeah.
And we said, oh, the people will come around a little bit and we'll put the pumpkins out. And I put uni lights in the pumpkins because it was really windy.
Yeah.
And they were like, I was just like, please no one steal a uni light. That I'd be really annoyed. And she stood with a bucket of sweets and we were sat by the window. I was like, right, okay. And all these kids are walking past and everyone, they're just for no reason, they're not knocking on our house. And you can see her face going. So I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll sneak out the back. I'll knock on the door and just give her a little trick or treat thing. And as I did it, of course, all the neighbours seemed to come out and they all saw me knocking on my own door. I was like, oh, for God's sake. Then they started coming in waves. And she was the happiest little girl you've ever seen. 4 years old. Obviously, I've stood back in the kitchen so I could keep an eye on her. She'd open the door. They'd say trick or treat. She'd put the bucket out. They'd all grab one. And she'd say, oh, that. And then she'd slam the door as hard as she could. And she'd come beaming. And she just stood literally leaning against the door, talking to me until it knocked. And she'll go, oh, another one. And then turn around. And it was the nicest thing in the world.
Do you know what? I don't have a problem with it. I think it's all right.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me. And she said, can we go out next year? I said, of course we can. Like, we only go around local houses, but
yeah, like, I'm not going to do like 3 streets. I'm going to do my road and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, relax.
But to be fair, it was hammering it down. Like, I'm surprised it was that many people out.
Yeah. But listen, let me get to my next stories.
Okay.
Because one's kind of work related.
Okay.
So Monday comes. Got all my stuff ready. Like, I like to be nice and ready on a Sunday for Monday. Like, so to get up and I'm good to go, right? And I'm like, babe, I can't find my keys. She goes, oh, they'll be around. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Anyway, so I wake up Monday morning and I still can't find my keys. I'm like, where's my keys to my van? My new van. Can't find my keys. It's now gone past the point of no return. Now I ain't going to work because I can't find my keys. In the end, we spent 4 hours tearing the house apart looking for the keys. Right? Never found the keys. I had to get in her car, drive down to the office, pick up the spare set of keys, drive back. They didn't work. So then I had to swap the battery out in the key fob. And then it finally worked. And then at about 1 o'clock, I turn up in Romford for work. It was so, mate.
Have you found the keys yet?
No.
Still.
They're not in the house. But I know they was in the house. So unless Harper's posted them into the bin and we've thrown it away or something, I don't know. Because obviously the bins get collected on a Monday as well.
Okay.
So they were gone. So I was checking through the Ring camera to make sure the last time I went to my van wasn't a time when we went out shopping or something.
Right, and left the keys.
And I left them in Marks and Spencer's or something. Not that I shop in Marks and Spencer's, but I went there to buy a pair of trousers. Anyway, I got so angry at one point, I headbutted my shed door. And I know it's not a normal response.
It's not a normal response.
But I was just like, where are my keys, man? And I was just like, and you know, it gets to that point when you're rowing and stuff. Anyway, I broke my shed door with my giant head. So anyway, next day comes now, and Harper's broken something. Now she's like, Daddy fix everything, like, because it's always Daddy fix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Relax, you're not as good as me at fixing. Trust me, I fix anything. Anyway, I find this super glue. It's just literally gluing this thing back onto some other bit of nonsense. Anyway, I find this super glue. I open up the super glue. And it comes out all like water. And I'm like, is this gone off or something? Is it still working? And it was working. I could feel it going, you know, it sort of kind of goes hot and then tight. Yeah. So anyway, I quickly put it on the thing, put that together, put that on the side. Now we've got wooden work surfaces. And there's a bubble on it right next to the sink. And I'm like, is that water? Or is that...
Is that glue?
Is that glue? And I'm like, I'm looking at it. I better check before it dries or something. I don't want to have to sand the work surface and that. So anyway, I put my finger on it. I do that, and I'm like, I don't know why I did this. I went,
are you fucking stupid? I just swore. What the hell?
And do you know what happened? Yeah, and do you know what happened? my tongue got stuck to my roof of my mouth, and whenever something like that happens, like whenever I hurt myself, I'm like, babe, I'm like, babe, and she's like, why are you talking like that? Like, babe, quick, like that, and I'm like, babe, and now my fingers are gluing together, and I'm like, babe, and she's laughing, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, babe,
Yeah, how would you explain that you've glued your tongue to the roof of your mouth?
She's like, how's that even possible? I'm like, and anyway, I just boiled the kettle. So she poured some hot water, and I banged that in my mouth, and my tongue finally comes unstuck. And then I clean up my fingers and that, and she goes, no more super glue for you. You can't
I'm
be
not
trusted.
surprised. I am not surprised at all.
Who does that? I don't know what went through my mind.
I've done this before where you smell it on your fingers like it's oil or petrol or something. Like I don't go, delicious.
I don't know, it must just be a fat man thing.
Jesus Christ, mate.
But who does that? It was firmly stuck to the roof of my mouth as well. I was like, I'm going to have to go to the hospital.
Next level for you, if I'm being completely honest. I prefer that over the poo stories.
But listen, have you got any work stories?
Work stories.
Because you're one about this, like, doing a little deed for this geezer who thinks he's going to be an electrician. He's boring.
Sorry. Got my finger again today. Oh, I did the videos that had just come out. I think it came out yesterday. Cool story I'd had about my finger, which I said on that, which Adam ruined because he was chasing the wall downstairs for the entire day. And it was, but anyway, so won't be able to see on the camera and people on audio. I've got a big scar across the middle of my index finger on my left hand. And this was from years ago. And I remember watching back the video. I was using my 36 volt SDS. And at the time, I couldn't work out why, but I used to have the Bosch attachment where you have the SDS attachment for an SDS drill for the hole saws. Like the Arbor would be an SDS.
Yeah.
And I thought I use that. I was drilling, put my hand down, drilling the back of a fuse board out, and the Arbor pilot bit snapped. So the blade ran across the side and took an almighty chunk out the side of my finger. And obviously you grab it straight away thinking, that hurt. But you know when you're holding on to it, so then you look at it and I could see white and I could see stringy things hanging out. I was like, and then the blood appears, doesn't it?
Yeah, big time.
Back onto my finger, squeeze as hard as I can, thinking, right, I need to go get some tissue. But I was working in a summer house, a really long way. So I walked up to the door. I was like, I can't just bust in the ladies in there. So I let go of my finger and knocked on the door. And as I did that, my hand was full of blood. Someone got murdered up the PVC door. She come out. She was a nurse and she was like, what have you done? And she could see I was getting a bit white, which I've never passed out before ever. And she was like,
you passed out.
Sorry?
Please tell me you passed out.
No, I didn't, thank God. No. She said, sit down there, let's have a look. And she goes, you need to go to an A&E. I was like, oh, okay. So I went and got some tissue from the van, the blue roll, loads of blue roll around it.
And then a bit of insulation.
Clamped it shut. And she was like, you can't drive. I was like, why not? And I was sat there doing this, like waving around. And she just had a newborn. So she had to leave my van there, got in her car, sat on the front. I was sat in the back because the baby was in the front, sat there like this, my finger, went to A&E, sat there for hours. And had gone straight through the muscle and straight through to the bone. But there was white dangly things, which were my nerves. So my nerves were hanging out. So I'd ripped them out from the top of my finger with the hole saw as it pulled them, and it pulled them out of the cut. And the nurse was like, I can't stitch it up because it's your finger, you just rip the stitches. So she just got a little pair of scissors and snipped the nerves hanging out. Mate, I know what, because I didn't know what they were. I thought they were tendons to start with.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
No, and then glued it, but then put a massive bandage on it. And but from this, my finger's numb, completely numb.
Well, you ain't got no nerves in it.
Yeah, so I can feel the top, I can feel like my nail, but I can't feel like around the sides. And it would lead me back to the video where I was clipping nails and I smashed my finger and got a big blood blister the other day on the video. And I was like, it doesn't hurt me, but I know it should. And then it's today as well, I managed to run a bit of all-round band on the side of my finger where the cut is. But it's a weird feeling because sometimes I can't feel anything. But then if you catch the right thing, it's like super sensitive. Yeah. And today, it was that super sensitive one. And I'm walking around going like this to Adam. And he was like, what have you done? I was like, mate,
Listen, I've got two stories about this, right?
Oh, tell me.
I've got one story about this exact thing that happened. No, well, not exact thing. Right. So I was stripping this HO7, right?
Oh, HO7, yeah.
Oh, you mean high tough?
Hey, tough.
Well, I don't know if it's the same thing. I don't know if you know. It might not be the same thing.
Everyone in the comments is H2O7 is high tough. Is it just really thick flex?
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, but inside it, you know when you've got multi-core cable and it has like a dud core in there that you can use to whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, that dud core on this particular stuff has got like razor edge down it. I'm not joking.
Do you mean the internal bit when it's sometimes like it's plastic or it's string? That stuff?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So one of them was like paper, like honestly, like paper, like rolled into like a long string, and then this one was like, I don't know what it. I wish I'd cut a bit off to show you now, but I was pulling it out, and as I pulled it out, I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And then I touched it again. And I've done this finger now, and it's like you put any amount of pressure on it, and then pull,
Gonna have you.
cut straight in. And honestly, I don't know if you can see that tiny cut there,
That little sausage.
mate. Honestly, I was like, "Why is that so? Why is that so painful?" Like that's so. You know when you're like, "Oh, mate, I might have to take like a paracetamol or something to dull that pain."
Yeah.
I don't know if I can stand this all day.
We've had the same things taking ovens out. I remember when my best mate Alex, so I took an oven out. Someone had a new kitchen. The oven was quite new, and they said we're only chuck it away. I was like, well, I'll have it because my brother's buying a house soon, and we'll keep it. And I got my mate to give me a lift. And on the arse end of the ovens, it's just stainless steel, thin sheet. And I was like, careful your fingers. And he went, oh yeah, no problem. And as he let go, it slid slightly, and he got the biggest cut across. But and it was in the horrible flat cuts as well, where it goes in on the 45.
Yeah,
and there's a good half-inch flat that you can lift up across both palm of his hands. And he looked at me. I was like, "Did tell you, mate?" And he was like that. But I did it recently at the sink in the unit. I bought you've seen it, the cheapest stainless steel metal sink, and I was putting the plug hole in it. No warning sign saying, "Be careful, this is sharp." It was. I've not known anything as sharp as that in my entire life.
You cut yourself and you're like, well, it can't be that sharp.
Oh, mate.
And then you do the exact same thing with a different finger, and you're like, well, that is that sharp.
Yeah. I've had it recently on cheaper back boxes, metal KO boxes. The inside lip of it, me and Adam have both cut our thumbs almost at the same time when we put them in. As you're wiggling it in place, and you run your thumb down, slice.
I did something pretty dumb on Monday. So it's the first. So I get there and I've got to meet a new another site manager, another new to me site manager. Anyway, his name's Derek. Wicked guy from Bulgaria. His name's obviously not Derek. It's like Dimitov or something like that, but they call him Derek anyway. Get on there and he's sweet. He's sound, right? Anyway, he goes, "Oh, can you sort out that lighting for me?" I was like, "Yeah, of course, because I'm gold card and it's what I do." Anyway, so I got the ladder, and it's quite high. Now you'd think I know about ladders by now, right? I broke my wrist in 10 places as I got a metal plate. So I got this ladder, and I'm messing about up there, and I turned round on it. So if you imagine that, I'm turning that way on it.
So ladder or a pair of steps?
Yeah, steps.
Right.
And then I started coming down, and I don't know. Since my vaccination, I've had this thing in my leg. Anyway, I've gone all weird. I don't know. I just felt like I was falling forwards, and I'm up about 8 treads.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like 19 stone, right? And I'm like, right, I'm definitely falling. There's nothing to grab onto. I'm not grabbing onto a suspended ceiling because we know how that ends.
Yes,
right? That ain't helping. That ain't helping. And I'm like, right, well, I best jump. If I jump, I can control this situation. Now it's all on me. And I'm falling forwards and I'm like, well, I'm going to jump. So I wait till I get just enough and I jumped off. Mate, it must the hospital must have cracks in it because I landed flat and I was like, and Derek turned around, "Are you all right, mate?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, just jumping on, trying to style it out." And anyway, I walk off.
You're 2 inches shorter now. Your femurs have got up into your hip.
No, do you know what? I was like, I styled that out all right. I landed, both feet perfectly at the same time, flat. cushioned it, knees and hips. I was like, boom. And I walked away I was like, actually, I'm quite agile for a fat man.
Mate,
I swerved
don't
it.
you hate it when you step off something a bit too much, or you do a jump like that, and you get your heel, and you get this pain that shoots up your heel into your bloody tibia. Oh,
so this is the thing. You know, I wear those Nike boots that don't have a steel toe cap.
no.
Like, they're the ones. So, like, you're jumping off in trainers, really.
Mm.
So I had that. You know, it's probably not. Listen, if you spoke to a doctor, they're going to say, listen, you are 19 stone, fat man. Don't be jumping off ladders 6 foot high.
I would say
That's
to
dumb.
most people, don't jump off a ladder 6 foot high. If I did that, I'd really hurt myself now.
Yeah, I think so. But listen, we got a topic.
Tell me, hit me, go.
So for those of you who haven't seen, on Fat Sam page, I released a little short today because I'm sick to death of it. Sick to death of it, right? When you're an apprentice, all apprentices end up buying CK first, don't they? They all buy CK stuff first because you got the little CK pack, and it's good quality and affordable, right? And you get to site, and then someone comes around and they've got like this red and blue set, and you're like, "What's this red Knipex? What's Knipex?" And so you go and see it, and it's like, "Oh, I want these." Anyway, you save up your money, and you go to the wholesaler, and you're like, and you see the set, the side cutters, the pliers, and the long nose pliers.
Long nose pliers, yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'll have a set of them. You get to the counter and they're like, yeah, that's 90 quid. And you're like, well, I won't have a set of them. And then when you're finally about it and you're an electrician, you go out and you buy yourself a set of Knipex. You get yourself a nice set and you start building up your little Knipex collection, don't you? Because it is dear.
It is.
And you think, oh, it's going to be good quality. It's going to be the best quality. So I'm going to buy good tools, buy once, you know, as they say. So I did that. And I bought Knipex, and then when the 5-in-1s come out, I think we got sent a pair by someone, and I was like, wow, I really like these 5-in-1s. I haven't got them with me to show you, but we all know what the 5-in-1s look like. And I was like, these are brilliant.
I'm still on work clothes, by the way. Busy man.
Tell me this though, Nick. Do you like 5-in-1s? No.
I like them. I like them if I'm just doing a fuse board. If I'm changing a board over, I will get them out because I will use that. It's 3 tools in it, so I can do that for doubling over, cutting, and stripping. But
the long nose pliers on those 5-in-1s are better than long nose pliers.
Yes,
Yeah. That's a fact. They're great for like shearing cables off. Then my big problem is with them, and this is what happened today. I'm doing a PDU. You probably won't know what that is.
No.
Power distribution unit or power distribution panel. It's not a fuse board. It's like this whole other thing. I don't really know what it is. I was just doing one. Anyway, so I was stripping a cable, banging them away, and I look at them and I'm like, the 1525 hole is broken. I was like, that again. This is my second pair because my first pair that broke. Now I know 2 other people have moaned about this. I was like, whatever, you must be using them wrong, idiot. So when it happened to me, I was like, well, I won't tell no one. I'll just get another. I must have just been using it wrong. I'm not. It can't keep happening and be a thing. I don't do
cutting
that
M8
much
bolts with it. I don't know why it keeps breaking.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that because I've made that mistake many, many times with my CK croppers. See, that's what I'm talking about. The greatest pair of croppers in the game. Doesn't matter, right? So my 1525 hole and that are broken. So I'm furious now.
Oh, do you want to say your what's breaking your hole?
Yes, my holes. Anyway, so I then go on to, I'll go back to my bag and I'm pissed now because it's got a very specific space for them. Now I don't even want them in my bag. I don't even want them in my bag. So I start getting out my other Knipex stuff. And the pliers, the long nose and the short nose pliers,
Let me
they're
guess,
rusty.
covered in rust. Yeah.
They're covered in rust.
But I've got to say, I've said this to Knipex as well, but it's not just Knipex. And I have this with every single screwdriver of every variation of every make and every pair of cutters or grips. Everything of mine is rusty, honestly. And it's like these CK ones. These are 2 weeks old. I don't know if you can see on the camera. Let me get the light up here.
Yeah, but they're like 15 quid.
But it's the same thing with any of them. Even my expensive tools, that's not Knipex. It's covered in rust, and I can't stop it.
Name one.
What?
Because I know Vera ain't.
Vera, yeah. My Vera stuff's absolutely covered in rust.
Is it
My tool check plus, it costs £100, and I bought Adam on recently because mine was that rusty. It's almost unusable.
This is my thing. It's like my tools don't even go in the rain. How are they rusty? Why are they tarnishing?
I know. It's exactly the same with me. We have closed tool bags for this reason. My old van, the moisture in the van was a lot. My new van doesn't do it whatsoever. But we've got all of the velocity bags with lids, all zipped up every night. My tools aren't used in the rain. If they are, we spray a bit of oil on them. But it is, and it was on a YouTube video a while ago where I got an old set of these and I got a sanding pad in the drill and I just sanded all the rust off it, sprayed oil on them. Literally a day later, covered in rust again.
Yeah, but that's something different.
I know you shouldn't do it, but we did that because stuff was so rusty.
Listen, on the side of your Knipex, tools, yeah, your
the number in it,
they have a number, and each one of those numbers means something. One of those numbers means that it's been coated or it hasn't been coated in like something.
Right.
Why is that a thing? Why don't they all be coated? Because they're all expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing that I've got that isn't rusted is a stainless steel something or other. Well, obviously, that doesn't rust.
But I know for a fact the CK ones don't rust. The CK cutters, not them. I'm talking about side cutters and that. They're made of a different type of metal.
Disgusting.
No. Listen, I'm done with Knipex. They're out.
Well, even I threw
the whole lot away. I threw everything Knipex out of my bag straight in the bin.
You've actually chucked it in the bin?
Chucked it in the bin.
Instead of giving it to an apprentice that could have used it?
I don't know no apprentices.
I know loads.
All right, I'll dig it out of the bin tomorrow. Anyone who wants some of my old rusty tools, you can have them.
Yeah, hit any apprentices below. Say you're an apprentice and Sam will send them out to you.
Yeah, I will, because they're crap.
Okay.
This is dumb. So
I think it should be better, and I do think my only concern with them is the rust. I love the way they perform. Nothing's ever broke for me. The screwdriver sets, like, it's very rare I break a screwdriver anymore. When I used to, it used to be the WORKWEAR?
No, don't say WORKWEAR. That's my next brand. That's who I'm going to back.
No, they're the ones that used to snap on me all the time.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
What, you using a screwdriver on?
No, what I'm saying is, WORKWEAR is the next one I'm going to. So, WORKWEAR, I'm coming to you guys next. Don't let me down.
Is this for everything or screwdrivers?
I know I'm going screwdrivers. I'm going croppers. I'm going cutters. I'm going everything.
This is the best screwdriver me and Adam have ever had. Is these ones, and these are Halter 4s. They're Snickers ones. They're partnered with Snickers. Halter 4, mate. Me and Adam have got a set each. They are absolutely fantastic. Like, I rate them so much. I've never even spoken about them on any videos. But I'm going to get a couple of sets of these just to fill some different bags and whatnot. They're brilliant.
Listen, I really, really like Snickers stuff. Okay, I think it's all real good quality. Way too expensive.
I've fallen out of love with them. This is Snickers, but I've just been sent some stuff by Bisley. You heard of them? The Australian. I've got the trousers on at the moment. Bisley. Yeah, Bisley Workwear. They sent some stuff over, trousers, a jacket. I said you send Adam the same. And the jacket I like, it just needs to be a bit longer. The trousers I'm wearing at the moment, I've been a Snickers fan since the day I started being an electrician. And mate, these are absolutely rival them. They're absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant trousers, and I would recommend them highly to anyone.
See, it's different for me though, and here's why. Because I'm fat.
Well, thing is, this is what
But I'm
John said.
fat in a different way. I'm not fat like fat people. Yeah. I'm fat around my midsection. So my legs are just normal legs. My arms are just normal arms. Look,
Yeah.
I don't have them cake eating hands. They're normal hands. Yeah. But I've just got this fat torso. I'm like a Put It and Pea walking around. You know Put It and Peas, where they've got like a round body and they just got stick legs. That's
Yeah.
me. I'm just not like from my gut below, I'm normal. Like, so this is an issue for me. So if I buy like, I don't know, 40-inch waist, yeah, now I'm wearing flares.
Well, but these trousers I'm wearing at the moment, they're size 38 waist because I didn't want to get a pair of trousers and walk around. It's digging in you when you're sitting down and whatnot.
I've done it too many
and
years.
I was concerned that the same thing because I melted my pair of really expensive Snicker trousers, didn't I? I put my foot in front of a gas burner and it melted the side of them. And Snickers sent me them originally, and I messaged them and said, "This has happened. Can I get a new pair?" Heard nothing. They just didn't even respond. I was like, all right then. So I ended up buying a cheaper pair just for sort of in the summer until.
Hold on a minute.
What?
I thought you was like in tight with Snickers.
Yeah and no. They sent me this, but not even this one. They sent me the one before, and then I put my keys in my pocket and bent over, and my key then ripped through the front of the jacket, and I was like, that's annoying. And I didn't want to say it was my own fault, so I just bought this one anyway. And I really like the jackets and the coats. Awesome stuff, but the trousers are a bit expensive, like the really flexy ones. I thought I'll buy a cheap
180
pair.
quid or something.
Yeah, I'll buy a cheap pair just till I lose a bit of weight and I can fit back in my, because I've got like 6 pairs of trousers upstairs. And I bought them and they were like, they said they were slim fit. Mate, they're like, I put them on around the waist and they fit well, but then the legs were just like, there was just no shape. They were just like that.
No.
And they when I overlapped my boots when I didn't even want them to. But these ones, they're good round the waist, but they're nice and tapered towards the ankles.
Let me tell you this. The ones I'm wearing at the moment, the ones I'm right, Caterpillar. They're called Caterpillar Dynamic Cargo work trousers, black. They're basically joggers.
Yeah.
Like, but they're in the work trouser material, so they fit nice. Like, they're slim fit joggers that fit nice. They're tapered, but then you've got like an elastic waist. It's a godsend. Yeah. The only thing is, I bought a size too small. You just kind of wish. Listen, I'm not going past 40. Really, I need to. Or I need to just like get a grip and stop being fat.
Yeah, I think these I should be a 36 really. They are. There's a bit loose. I'm constantly pulling them up. But I've decided to start tucking my t-shirt into them, so I've got a bit more support. The thing is, you could put them on great, but the moment you start putting your tools in it and they get heavy, they're back down again.
Can't even have your phone in them.
But no, basically, like anyone out there, like it's good stuff. I do really like it.
I might have to look at them. I don't know. In the last probably month, I like with this job, like jogging bottoms as a site manager is a no.
Yeah,
it's no bueno. Plus, I get uniform allowance as well, so
nice.
I claim back all my uniform. So for me, I just want a pair that I'm really comfortable in all day long, and I don't have to keep pulling up. I am thinking about braces. Fat people need to go. Why don't I just lose weight?
Some people can rock braces though.
Joe rocks braces. Who used to rock braces? Is Rick.
Oh really? Yeah, because the beard. Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah. See, look, man's got a beard now, and that got to be taken more seriously.
Same.
Yeah, that's about it. Right, man. Listen, I think we've bored our listeners enough.
Sorry, guys.
Knipex, good or bad?
Good. I like Knipex. I just wish it's not just that. It's tool brands all around. I just wish the stuff would stop bloody rusting.
No, it's only Knipex. I don't know.
It's not.
Don't know. Right. We're out.
Bye.